Hi, and welcome to Tim's Real Toy Review, where we give you our honest opinion on toys that we've put some mileage on. Today we have furReal's Munchin Rex. Now, furReal's Munchin Rex is a toy robot slash plushie toy. He's probably more of a robot. He's full of animatronics that allow him to close and open his mouth. He can jump up and down. He makes a lot of really cute noises, and he's got some background safari music that plays with him. But he is probably more robot than stuffed animals, we said. And a lot of that is attributed to the fact that he has a soft exterior micro fleece material wrapped around him with some rubber arms and legs that can be posed. His hair is the same kind of rubber, and he's kind of soft to the touch. But behind that is a hard plastic material. You can hear it from the taps here. He is also relatively heavy with a lot of motorized components and batteries in him. So he's not really the kind of thing that you would take to bed and sleep with. I think about it as not so much a plushie, something like this that you can squeeze, but more think about it like a transformer that you've wrapped in a thin microfiber material, and that's what you got here. He does make a lot of really neat noises. He can close his mouth, and he does have a couple sensors that allow children to interact with him. The first sensor would be one on his nose, where if you get close, cover his nose, he will begin to respond to you. The other one is on his tongue, where if you depress just the tip of his tongue right here with something, you'll get him going as well. He's currently in sleep. He's also got a little Velcro component at the bottom of his belly that allows you to change out his batteries, but also access an on-off switch if you really just want to put him to sleep so he doesn't wake anybody up. Now, we'll kind of show you what he looks like once he gets going here, and then we'll turn him off so he doesn't distract the rest of this video the entire time. He comes with things like his own little piece of broccoli, which you can feed to him and interact with him that way. We sometimes like to play the role of Godzilla a little bit more, and we get something like a car, and you push it right there on the tongue. And you hear the music going, and you also start to see him bouncing up and down. Now, here's the light sensor. And he's got a fair amount of different audio cues, different audio snippets that he can play to your children. If you feed him something, sometimes he has a good time with it, other times not so much. Right now, he's making munching noises, so I guess he likes it. Other times, maybe I feed him my finger this time, push that little button there. He liked it as well. Other times he will spit it out. It's pretty much random at this point, but that's, the general ability of what his animatronics and interactivity does. Again, you do the light sensor. Sometimes you get a slightly different input. Sometimes he goes for a little bit longer. He does bounce a little bit, and now he's kind of upright with his mouth closed. Now, underneath, this is that Velcro compartment that we were talking about. You'll see the battery covering right there. If you go a little bit more to the front here, you'll notice that there is a switch right there. Push the switch, and he's off. So that's pretty much what he has in terms of interactivity. Again, it's pretty hard. He's probably meant more for you and your kids to feed him things, whether it's a car, a piece of broccoli, or other things that he comes with, which is also a milk bottle and a little caveman cookie. But that's about it. So, when we're looking at toys here, we think about cost. Rex here came in around $50 to $60 Canadian, depending on the retailer and promotions that were available. And for that cost, it really depends on what you're looking for. As a robot, he doesn't do a whole lot. He bobs up and down, he opens and closes his mouth, he shakes his head. He's got two sensors, and those two sensors, I'd say, as your kids play with them, they're going to run out of options. The next piece really is practicality. he doesn't do a ton. You can't take him to sleep. So if kids want to cuddle, they could, but they might have a hard plastic dinosaur poking them in the back. And if your kids are anything like my kids and they pretty much spin around the entire night, they're going to be bothered with potentially a plastic dinosaur poking them in the back, or you'll be bothered with a broken dinosaur in the morning. If you're lucky enough to have a child who can sleep perfectly still, well, lucky you. Perfect. They can go to bed together. In terms of replayability, your kids will come back to him. He is cute. furReal offers a lot of different animals, things like tigers, bears, leopards, cats, a whole assortment of different animals, and a lot of them have varying ranges of interactivity. For the furReal Munchin Rex is kind of right in the middle. He's got a little bit of extra interactivity in terms of 2 sensors. He moves a little bit more, but there are ones with more sensors and less sensors and more noises or themes or inputs and sounds that they offer as well. So in terms of practicality for kids, they will get to learn some cause and effect out of this. They'll play with it. They will see it respond. It will bring some joy. They'll do it again. That for my children lasted about 15 minutes, and then we never really played with Rex for probably about a week, and then he pops up all of a sudden again. The kids find a good time with him for another 15, maybe 20 or 30 minutes, but then they get bored again. And the lack of inputs and the lack of interactivity just make it challenging to consistently and constantly engage for a very long period of time for your kids. They also can't really cuddle with them, so they don't really bring that emotional bond that they do with other stuffies that they get to play with, and he's a little harder to handle with him being on the heavier side as well as being hard plastic than they have with some of their traditional stuffies. In terms of just generally what kind of kid would like this toy, if you find the right animal, my children are into dinosaurs, then dinosaurs will work better. If they're into dogs, dogs will work better. Again, they will get a little bit of play and you're looking for that cause and effect, that interaction. Awesome. If your child is a type that can sit at a tea party table set and feed animal, one of their stuffies, repetitively without actually picking up and playing with them for hours on end and loves that more than any other activity, then this is probably the perfect toy for you. But if your kids aren't that type, they're going to get a little bit of interaction. They will get to see the furReal animal respond to things that they do, but it just isn't quite as long-lived as you think you might get out of something like this. And you definitely can't really hug them too much. Bottom line, I'd say they're fun. They are short-lived. Your kids get a lot of enjoyment out of a quick interaction with these animals, but after that it fades pretty quick, and it's something that pops up from time to time to time. They don't play the same way they do normally with other stuffies because you worry about him getting wrecked. He's hard plastic with moving parts. At the end of the day, he is a robot. He's not a full-fledged robot and does everything you would expect a robot to do. He's not a stuffed animal where you can hug him, throw him, squeeze him. He is kind of in that middle ground and more likely something that you would, again, maybe sit at a tea party and feed him treats all day long. Well, that is the furReal Munchin Rex. Thank you for watching, and bye-bye.